Hi, here we build trust in our creativity. I'm Emily, a struggling wannabe author who has still not finished her book in 4 years. Welcome. And if you're like me, you only get things done while being publicly accountable. So here I am talking to you about what's working, what's not, as I finish this first book. And we can call my first book FTL. So, what's working? Number one. I am in the editing slash rewriting everything slash editing phase, which means I have so many drafts of this book, but it's only now that I have a process while editing, in that I'm editing more efficiently, even though I am rewriting a lot, although the meat of the scene is staying the same. So let me know if you're in the same boat, editing, rewriting. I know sometimes people say, you just need to stop rewriting and just edit, or you need to keep writing and not edit. Right now, it's just how it is. I'm doing both. And it's because I have Emotion Thesaurus. This book has helped me so much in editing more efficiently. And thank you to my author mastermind who recommended this book to me, because it has been so helpful when reading back my scenes. Although I've written so many drafts of a full 300-page book, it's amazing that there wasn't a clear step-by-step of the emotional journey of the character. It felt like I had the scene and the actions, and I was putting so much work on the reader to pick up from context clues what exactly the character was feeling. And it really felt like stage direction instead of this emotional journey that we want our characters to go on, because ultimately readers connect with characters through emotion. So, a couple examples. I was going for inspiration. So, what I originally wrote was, when the idea pops in my head, I smile. That is true. That is showing, I guess, by their smile. But what I was really going for with inspiration, which they listed out in the Emotion Thesaurus, is this feeling of like a frenzied activity. So what that changed to, after I really pinpointed what aspect of inspiration I wanted to show, was standing in front of my parents' house, I tear off my gloves and frantically type the email to myself before the idea flies away. It's just more vivid. There's more to sink your teeth into as a reader versus when the idea pops in my head, I smile. You can see it, but it doesn't give you what's going on around them, what actions are causing them to be happy about this idea. Another example for disappointment. So originally I had my jaw drops, which when you're feeling disappointed, yes, you could have your jaw drop, but again, when I initially wrote this, I wasn't really tapping into exactly what facet of disappointment I wanted to show. And the Emotion Thesaurus has a physical sign listed as breaking eye contact. So when you're disappointed, something didn't go your way, you don't want to look. And that's really what I was going for. So instead of my jaw drops, what I changed that to was, I look down at my feet as I hike up the stairs, not wanting to see their reactions. That is more what I was going for. And also, I have a tendency to kind of have these stage direction, like my jaw drops, they move up the stairs. And I'm working on combining all of that to better show the emotion. So it's a more like fluid action plus emotion instead of them being broken up and separated. So those examples are how using the Emotion Thesaurus has really elevated my scene, because the meat of the scene is not really changing. It's just that I'm more specific about what the character is feeling. It's not just happy, it's not just sad. It's a very pinpointed aspect of that emotion that I get to show. And this book has really helped. So what I do when I finally get started, open a scene, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to read it through and label the emotions from what I can tell. And it was kind of funny because I was like, oh God, like these emotions either don't make sense or I just can't tell what the character's feeling. And there's not really a clear, like going from anger to sadness to frustration. It just literally did not make sense. And it was hard to follow what the character was thinking and feeling. And slowly, even me as the writer was losing connection with the story. And so, in starting to label exactly what emotion was happening, I was better able to first see what I was trying to do. And then through the book, they provide physical signals and behaviors or mental responses of each emotion. And what's amazing too is that they also, with every emotion, put what emotion may escalate to or de-escalate to, which has been an even bigger help than labeling the emotions because, again, writing is this emotional journey for the character, and being able to have that journey make sense emotionally has been so, so helpful because you can't really have a character go from happy, sad without explaining in either internal narrative or showing the emotion how they got there. What's working? Number 2. And as of late, what's working is that I've been I say only, writing for 15 minutes 3 times a week. And even as I say that, I'm annoyed at how small that goal is, but it's keeping me consistent. And it's because I'm in this constant negotiation with my day job of when the heck am I going to write? And I have learned over these 4 years that the smaller the goal, the more consistent I am. And yet I still have this annoyance around them because it feels like there's just been no progress. With the 15 minutes, it's nice because it gets me started because I can't really have an excuse that I don't have 15 minutes during the day, 3 times a week to do it. And although those first 3 minutes feel like an actual year of my life, by minute like 7, 8, I'm getting into it. And then by minute 15, I'm like, oh, well, I can just finish this paragraph real quick. And it's helping me get through that initial hurdle of starting and then getting that momentum and wanting to continue at the end. So that's been super helpful. What's not working for me is kind of related to that, which is feeling like I'm not going fast enough. And mindset just breeds this guilt. And when has guilt ever helped me in this process? Obviously it hasn't because I'm still 4 years in writing this thing. So trying to find ways to not feel guilty about the smaller goals is something that I'm working on because that feeling of not going fast enough has never benefited me. So please let me know if you're working through the same thing. If you found anything that's worked, please let me know. And the second thing that's not working is actually more of a YouTube thing, which I've wanted to start a YouTube for a long time, but I kept delaying it because I thought I need to have a finished book before I go on YouTube. And of course, that's just kind of an excuse to not start because obviously I'm having trouble finishing this book, so the YouTube would never happen. And at the core of it, it's more thinking I'm not credible enough to show up online, which is kind of the opposite of YouTube. Everyone is sharing their different phases of where they're at, and not feeling credible enough is silly because in sharing the actual stage I'm at in writing, what's working and what's not working, I'm able to meet people where I'm at, or at least a few steps around me, and we can walk on this journey together in finishing our novel. And that's really what people go to for YouTube. You know, we go for connection and hope and inspiration. And I need to stop watching or looking at people that are 20 steps ahead of me. Because, yes, that's aspirational content and maybe that would help me, but day to day, not really. So if you guys are feeling like you're not moving fast enough, you're not credible enough to call yourself a writer, know that you are not alone. I'm here, we're all here feeling the same thing. And yes, we're wannabe authors, but we're still writers because we are showing up and we are continuing our novel. We're not giving up. So again, this channel is all about building trust in our creativity, whether that's a 7-minute journal prompt, which you can find on my other videos, or writing 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week. It's about setting those smaller, intentional goals that are so easy to do to start building that trust muscle with ourselves and our inherent creativity. We don't need to be some other version of ourselves in the future to start inhabiting that creative writer space. So that is episode 1 of personal update on my writing journey. Please put in the comments below what you're working on, what you're struggling with, what's helping you, hurting you, so other people can learn. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.